Hey everybody, welcome back to Corpse Factory. On the last episode we found out who Corpse Girl is. It's me, Noriko, who set up this website because we have, some fascination in controlling people's destinies. We made this corpse photo of someone once, sent it out there, and they killed themselves in such a way that our photo was recreated. And we got off on that, so we continued doing it. But we've only been able to make that power occur once. But if you remember the prologue, clearly we've made it happen twice. So there's clearly something disconnected there. And also, we have never bloodied our hands, but how can that be the case? Everyone just, committing suicide, or is there someone going around, committing these acts? I don't know if you remember the end of the last act, Noriko received, a couple of right hooks from Tomoe. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this part. My typing is hesitant and distracted this morning. My fingers falter, misstep, and tap backspace repetitively. This is no good. I can't focus on work while I'm staring at the top of Tomoe's head, popping up from behind a monitor a few desks away. Even my work playlist isn't inspiring me to pulverize the keyboard today. Normally a blast of pure volume and a shot of caffeine is enough to carry me to the greatest heights of productivity. I press a finger to my pursed lips, trying hard to regain my focus. I absent-mindedly noticed that I missed the edge of my top lip when applying lipstick this morning. Damn, I'm really out of sorts today. At least I managed to apply some extra blush to cover up the faint bruising on my face. I might have overdone it a little, but it's better than looking like I just stepped out of a boxing ring.
Good morning, Noriko. Boy, have I got some neat news for you.
Is this, Aoi's got a job here, please? A job interview? I'm so absorbed in my own thoughts, I barely register Shinya standing in front of my desk.
Noriko? Excuse me? Noriko? Are you in there?
Huh?
My eyes fixate on Shinya's goofy smile. I quickly remove my headphones.
Fujikawa, Shinya, sorry. Hi.
Are you okay?
Well, I went a few rounds with, Tomoe over there. The heavyweight of the office, apparently.
Yeah, I'm fine. Tired is all.
Oh, I hear you. I was up late last night.
I bet you were.
Boy, I must have been up past 10. Just could not put down this new crime thriller I've been reading.
Oh, yeah, right. I was up late reading too.
Your horror novels, right? Don't they leave you feeling a little scared before you go to sleep?
No, not really. It's all fiction, so it's pretty easy to distinguish from reality.
Is that so? Wow, that's not like my book at all. The crimes in this story are all based on real cases. My jaw hits the floor every time I turn the page.
Sure, that's going to make it harder for you to sleep than, if you're so that absorbed in a book, you'd think that would be enough to affect your sleeping, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me tell you this. Your friend Sato can take a data entry opening starting from Monday.
Nice, then you needed an interview.
She doesn't even need to interview. That's how much the boss trusts me.
I'm genuinely impressed with Shinya's ability to score. I owe you a job. Say what you want about the guy, but the bigwigs obviously have faith in him.
Wow, Shinya. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't thank me yet. Sato is going to be worked to the bone. I hope she's prepared for it.
Trust me, anything will be better than her current job. Really, thank you, Shinya. You came through for us here.
Well, I'm just happy to help. Hey, Noriko, can I ask you something?
I'm busy that day. I'm sorry, Shinya.
Sure. Shoot.
Shoot? Oh, right. Sorry, I just remembered this case in the novel I'm reading, where a police officer shoots at a perp, only to...
Hey, you, wanted to ask me something?
Right. Are you friends with Watanabe?
I blink a couple of times.
Tomoe?
You're on a first-name basis with her. Then you must be great friends.
Oh!
I mean, I wouldn't say...
Listen, would you mind putting in a good word for me with her? I'm kind of interested in taking her out sometime, but I could never ask her myself.
Colour me surprised. I'm stunned, gobsmacked, speechless. Shinya likes Tomoe? I thought he likes me. Is my intuition wrong? I wonder if the clues have been in front of me this whole time. What else haven't I been seeing?
Noriko? What do you say?
Shinya, look. Honestly, I'm not really friends with Tomoe. I don't think I can help you.
Oh, I see. That's a shame. I thought maybe you were close.
I mean, she's on one of my lists, but that's as close as it gets.
Darn. I guess there's not much to be done, is there? Even after I helped you and Sato out and all.
Is he seriously trying to guilt me? I have to hand it to him. I didn't think he had it in him.
Well, I suppose you can just tell Sato to start work on Monday morning. Guess I'll see you around the office then.
Shinya leaves, and I bury my face in my hands. Has this world gone mad all of a sudden? Shinya likes Tomoe, not me. It's not that I'm disappointed. Hell, I don't even have feelings for the guy. But for him to be interested in someone vapid like her just blows my mind. To add insult to literal injury, Tomoe assaulted me yesterday. She has a vicious, violent side to her that Shinya doesn't know about. He could be in real danger if he pursues her. I'm completely unable to process what I should do. Shinya scored Aoya a job, and I'm truly thankful. Do I feel like I owe him one? Should I ask Tomoe out for him, or warn him about her? I need to clear my head. I decide to step away from my desk and visit the restroom. Though I've no need to use the restroom, I enter a stall and lock the door behind me. Sitting on the toilet's closed lid, I lean back and exhale. I'm getting too caught up in office drama. That's what the issue is. It's unlike me. I'm supposed to be stoic, unflinching. It's my ideology, my entire identity. My emotions are better locked away than stitched on my sleeve. I'm Corpse Girl, for crying out loud. My purpose is bigger than all of this. I'm destined for greatness. The day will come when people fear my name. Right? I shake the doubts from my mind and pat my cheeks. I'm doing all of this for the right reasons. I know I am. If I start doubting myself now, I'll never see my mission through. An unfamiliar jingle rings out through the restroom, echoing off the walls. It sounds like a phone alert, but where did it come from? It takes me a few seconds to realise I have my own phone in my hands, and it's vibrating incessantly. I must have grabbed it subconsciously from my desk when I stood up. The screen is lit up, and the message reads, "One new article matches your custom filter. D3D body lol." Wait, what? The auto newsfeed I set up last night. It actually located something? I hurriedly unlock my screen and open a certain app. The same app I was trawling through last night looking for obituaries. A little unread mail icon sits at the top of the screen, blinking and practically shouting for my attention. I hit the icon and read the information presented to me. Article posted online Tuesday, 11:22 AM. Keywords found: 3. Ms. Accident. Numerical data range 3050. Image data found: yes. Wednesday, May 27th. Miss Akane Tsurumaki, 36, of Chiba Prefecture, was pronounced dead this morning at her personal residence, 8:38 AM. The chief coroner reports that Miss Tsurumaki was involved in an accident resulting in self-asphyxiation. Miss Tsurumaki is survived by her husband, Mr. Goro Tsurumaki, 42, and their daughter, Miss Fu Tsurumaki, 1. A funeral service will be held on Friday, May 29th. View image attachment, question mark? I hurriedly tap the button and gasp as the image loads. It's her. The photo is unmistakably the same woman. Plain features, little makeup, no signs of personality. Akane Tsurumaki, the latest victim to receive a photo of her own corpse. My breathing stops all of a sudden. I'm gasping for air, my cheeks on fire, my fingers numb. I did it. My meticulously crafted photos caused this woman to end her own life. An accident resulting in self-asphyxiation, meaning she died by suicide, strangled herself or had her head down in the bath. The news never reports anything as a suicide. It's such a taboo topic in this culture. Everything is always an accident. All this time I've been trying to compel somebody to kill themselves. My corpse photos constantly becoming more and more elaborate, more and more convincing and realistic. And now somebody has died again. Because of me. Because of Corpse Girl. I was right all along. I do possess the power. I have the power to end lives through my work, my art. I've known it all this time, and I've finally proven it. Rory Hatano's death planted the seeds of belief in my mind. The belief that Corpse Girl is more than a mortal being. And now, Arcane Tsuramaki's demise has caused those seeds to bloom and blossom into pure certainty. Corpse Girl truly can end lives. It's a wonderful revelation and it relieves my turbulent mind. However, I can't get my fingers to scroll back up to reread the obituary. My hands aren't functioning, my legs dangle lifelessly from the toilet seat, and my coffee from this morning is working its way back up through my throat. Honestly, I'm glad it's going up through your throat and not down the other way. Although, at least we're in the right place for that. I feel the sting of tears in my eyes. Sweat trickles on my forehead, dripping down my uncharacteristically thick makeup. All of a sudden, I can't breathe. My lungs refuse to take in any more oxygen. I panic and fall forwards, miraculously slamming my hands into the stall door to prevent my head from colliding with the floor. My nails scrape against the door's enamel paint, peeling chunks of green from the surface as I slide down, down and down, until my head rests uncomfortably on the damp tiles. I didn't want damp tiles. Okay, we always look happy. My eyes roll back and my tongue lolls out the side of my mouth, dangerously close to the tiled floor, but completely out of my sight and mind. I taste foundation and blush, a little bit of sweat, then nothing at all, as the still air envelops my taste buds. My photo killed that woman. That woman killed herself because of my photo. My photo killed that woman. That woman killed herself because of my photo. My woman killed that photo of herself because of that photo of the woman who killed herself in the photo. My eyes begin to regain their focus and my stomach turns, heaves and shakes, and warm coffee spills from my lips as I try to smile, but only manage a gurgle. The gritty paint underneath my fingernails has a rough texture, but I don't like very much. I feel queasy and ecstatic at the same time. It's a horribly wonderful feeling that I could do without. So much for stoic, unflinching Noriko. Remember stoic, unflinching Noriko? This is her, writhing on the bathroom floor, her lungs working once more, and her breath ragged and gasping, sucking in air like a mosquito sucks in blood. This is Noriko. Noriko with her grandiose fantasies of death, and killing people without having to kill them at all. Without having to leave her apartment because of the outside world. It's scary, and there are people out there probably trying to kill her. This is Noriko. Me. The real me. Acting tough and fearless when I'm crying on the inside. Always sad. Always miserable. Always lying on the bathroom floor with my fist clenched. My phone resting in a puddle and my life slowly spiraling out of control. This is me. I did this. I killed that woman. She had a husband and a daughter, and some random person requested that I kill her. So I did. She probably didn't do anything wrong. She looked boring. She must have just rubbed somebody the wrong way. Maybe she didn't even know what she did. Just like how I rubbed Tomoe the wrong way, and I don't know what I did, but Tomoe slapped me twice, hard, and it hurt. And it must have hurt that woman too when she strangled herself and killed herself. I killed her. I directly killed her with my indirect actions. She's dead now, and I'm alive. I'm still here, lying on the bathroom floor of the 14th story of Shinjuku's Temujin office building, and I have paint underneath my fingernails, and Aoi is going to start work here on Monday. But I did it. I killed her. Finally, after countless months of pretense, of false starts, of failures and disappointments, I killed somebody again. Corpse Girl strikes for the second time. And above all else, above this grime and muck on the floor, and the tingling feeling underneath my fingernails, above all of that, this feels good. This feels so good. Blood has returned to my legs, the pins and needles have faded, my toes quiver beneath my stockings and shoes. An electrical charge pulses down my thighs and dissipates through my feet. I manage to plant 2 hands firmly on the tiles and push myself up onto my wobbly knees. I suck in air and breathe all of it back out, almost at once. I feel dizzy and a bizarre warmth is welling up inside my stomach and chest. That'll be the cleaning products probably on the floor. You're getting high off ammonia fumes. I manage to steady myself enough to sit back on the top of the toilet seat, with my feet planted firmly on the ground, my hands resting on my lap. I try to regain my sense of self. I might have lost my composure a little bit upon reading the news, but who could blame me? Everything I've worked for over the last year is finally starting to pay off. My second victim is dead. With this, Corpse Girl's popularity is sure to rise. More and more people will issue requests through my website. More and more people will receive corpse photos, and more people will. She killed herself. She killed herself? Oh, how I wish I could see the real body. If only I could see her mangled corpse, drenched in sweat and finally at peace. I notice my phone is wedged between my wet fingers. I must have subconsciously scooped it up from the pool of muck on the floor. I try to ignore the sticky texture clinging to the screen. My fingers no longer numb, I scroll up and reread the obituary article. Miss Arcane Tsurumaki, 36 of Chiba Prefecture, was pronounced dead this morning. Dead. Pronounced dead. My breathing staggers once again. My jaw lowers gently. Involved in an accident. Hot steam clouds my face, resulting in self-asphyxiation. I salivate unconsciously, a trickle of moisture creeping down my chin and dropping on my lap. My cheeks are flushed, my vision slightly blurred. She killed herself. Because of me. She killed... I let out a gasp as my hips rise against my will. My toes curl, my legs stiffen. My skin tingles. I lean back against the cistern, the cold porcelain penetrating the thin fabric of my clothes and chilling my burning hot skin. My eyelids flutter as my mind hazes over. I can't control my body any longer. All the anticipation of the last few days, the tension building in my muscles. I can't. My legs tense up, my knees buckle, my neck tilts back. A whispered gasp slips softly between my lips. My phone falls to the ground once more as my fingers slowly uncurl. The dull tink sound as it hits the floor is the last thing my foggy mind registers before I drift away.
You look like horse shit.
Hi, Tomoe. Tomoe's brazen drawl snaps me out of my dead-eyed stare.
Looks like you've been sleeping in the sewer. It suits you.
I don't know what she's talking about. I can't really focus on what she's saying. I realise I've been staring at my computer screen for about 20 minutes. Rarely blinking. I don't know why I can't say that. Rarely blinking. There we go. My mouth is dry, as though I've stopped producing saliva altogether. A dull throb in my lap causes me to cross one leg over the other in an attempt to get comfortable.
You know, I'm talking here. It's rude to ignore your superior.
I swallow in an attempt to moisten my parched throat before speaking in a cracked voice.
Do you need something? Thought you should know that Shinya and I are gonna hit the town on Friday night. Turns out he's fancied me for a while now.
In the end, seems like the better gal won, don't you think?
Seems that way. Is that all?
I can't tell Tomoe's trying... sorry, I can tell Tomoe's trying to get under my skin, but I'm honestly not in the mood to deal with it right now.
I thought you'd be more torn up about it.
I don't care in the slightest. Why don't you go sit back at your desk?
Whatever. Hey, maybe I'll meet you after work again.
Why? So you can attack me again?
I realised my voice was louder than intended. A few people nearby tilt their heads quizzically. Tomoe takes a cautious step back.
Keep your voice down, psycho. Stuff like that's between me and you.
You assaulted me. I should report you to the police.
Don't you dare!
Lost for words, Tomoe turns tail and walks away. I sigh and lean back in my office chair. Why do I feel so exhausted? My mind flickers, piecing together fragments of memory from the bathroom a short while ago. That's right, I let myself get carried away in the exhilaration of my success. I temporarily stepped away from my own body and let my basest instincts take over. But I'm in control now. I'm myself again. I'm Noriko, stoic and unflinching. I'm Corpse Girl, successful and feared. I can kill people as easily as I can manipulate a photo. People like Tomoe should be scared of me. People like Tomoe shouldn't mess with me. I'm in control now. Climbing the steps up to my apartment is always such a chore. I wish I'd moved into a building with an elevator, but I simply couldn't afford to when I first moved out of my own last year. These old apartment buildings creak and groan when you ascend the stairs. On top of that, you can hear the bustling of other people within their tiny homes as you progress up each floor. There's always a slight whiff of mould or mildew whenever I ascend the stairs. I want to chalk it up to the fact the building is so old, but it is possible some of the residents here don't keep their apartments very clean. At the very least, this neighbourhood is decent. I feel safe in my home, even if it's small and cramped. And my neighbours are respectful from what I can tell. Not that I really know them at all. In fact, the only neighbours I have regular contact with are the very same ones I leech Wi-Fi from. Some middle-aged divorced guy named Kenji, who lives on the floor below me and has his daughter, Momo. Kenji's a decent enough guy. He works overnight, which unfortunately means Momo is left home alone a lot of the evenings. Momo is a sweet girl, perhaps 6 or 7 years old. Occasionally I hear her singing Drift Up into my apartment, but it doesn't bother me too much. She's just a kid. It's the very same Kenji and Momo that I bump into when I'm climbing the stairs this evening.
Oh, good evening.
Hello.
We're just on our way to get some dinner. Isn't that right, Momo?
Yes. That sounds nice. I hope you have a good meal.
Thank you. Say, are you feeling okay? You look like you've been in some trouble. There's dirt or something all over that side of your face.
I mean, we went 3 rounds with Mike Tyson, then we've been, asleep dribbling on a bathroom floor. We've probably got every single disease known to man at the moment. We might honestly be patient zero for, the next pandemic. But yeah, we're okay. I tilt my head and reach my hand to my cheek. Sure enough, dry muck has blended into my makeup and caked all over my face. It seems like my eyeliner is smeared as well. Is this from when I fell in the bathroom? Damn it. Have I looked like this all day?
Oh, right.
I tried to make up some lie so Kenji doesn't worry about me.
I actually fell asleep on the train home, and I guess the seats were kinda dirty.
Is that so?
You should wash your face and do your makeup again. I can help if you like.
You know what, Momo? You're adorable. We can do it ourselves. I can't help but smile slightly at Momo's generous offer.
Thank you, Momo. I'll be sure to wash up and make myself look nice again. You should go have dinner with your dad.
Yeah, exactly. The girl nods resolutely. Listen, you can help us next time, Momo.
Well, I hope you're okay at any rate. Have you been working hard at the bank?
Oh, actually, I just work at the head office for the bank, so...
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Data something, right?
Yeah, data entry. It's a bit dull, but I'm happy enough.
That's good. That's very good. I know it's hard for kids like you to get good work in this economy. When you find a job like that, you really have to hold on to it. When I was your age, I could only find cleaning work. I must have had a dozen different janitorial jobs before I met Momo's mother.
I blink a couple of times. It's not like I talk to this guy often. Really, we hardly know each other. Still, I've never heard him actually mention Momo's mother before. Most of the things I know about him I've just pieced together from context.
Mom?
Of course, things are different now. I have Momo, and her mother isn't around anymore. Cleaning work doesn't cut it these days. I was really lucky to get into security. It means I can work overnight while Momo sleeps, and I can still take her to school every day.
Security. Of course. Now I remember. He did mention when we first met what he does for a living. If memory serves, he works for a private security company. I assume he guards corporate offices or parking lots. Something like that.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Hold on to a job if you like it. That's very important.
Thank you. I'm happy at Temujin, so I plan to stay there.
Very good. Oh, Momo was telling me earlier what she wants to do when she grows up. Weren't you, Momo?
Space cowboy. Come on.
Dad?
Come on now. Tell Naruko what you want to be.
Space cowboy.
A scientist.
Well, honestly, Momo, I hate to break this to you, but it's kind of rough getting into, the scientific career. Pretty brutal hours. You're going to be doing a lot of repetitive work. If you're in research science, half your research is probably not going to work. You're going to be miserable, honestly, Momo. You're planning to be miserable. All these experiments, they show you, like, the iodine clock and, things that, like, change colours and so on and so forth. That's not what science is. If you're doing, like, organic chemistry, you're just going to be in column chromatography. And it's going to be pretty miserable for you. You're going to be trying to create a compound, and most of it's going to be, the solvent that it's in. You're going to be trying to put it on bookies, trying to get a nice NMR data of it, and always you're going to have this big acetone peak. And you're like, oh my god, the NMR data, it doesn't look great. And then you're trying to match all the proton signatures and stuff. Momo, you know what? You do you.
Wow, a scientist. That's a great job. I'll be rooting for you, Momo.
The girl blushed and hid behind her dad.
She's inherited her mother's book smarts, I'm certain. She definitely didn't get her brain from me. Anyway, we're gonna get going. Enjoy your evening, Naruko.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye, Momo.
Bye-bye.
The two of them bow their heads and follow the rest of the stairs down. I continue up to the next flight of stairs, reach the landing, then turn the corner to enter my own apartment. The place is dark because I always make sure to cut the lights before I leave. I can't afford to leave any electricity running. My rent chews through most of my salary as it is. I flick on the lights and feel relief as the living room illuminates. My faithful couch and TV emerge from the shadows, and I immediately feel at home. After throwing my keys and bag onto the coffee table, I slump down on the couch. What a day. I have an overwhelming urge to pull out my laptop and check my website for new requests. But my body needs to come first. I'm desperate for a hot shower. I'll need to cleanse my face, scrape the paint from underneath my fingernails, and I'll definitely have to slip into a fresh set of underwear. Didn't need to know that. Whatever happened in the bathroom today took its toll on my body and my clothes. Well, the night is young. I can relax later. For now, it's time to start scrubbing. Thursday morning. The convenience store is a little more crowded than usual. The mundane clatter of business people, students, and workers buzzes in the air like a swarm of relentless flies. By the way, on the left, is this all the meals? Because these look kind of nice, even though they're just, containers. These look sizable meals. They look huge. And these drinks, they look like they've all been supersized. Throughout the drone of mingled conversations, I happen to catch a few interesting words here and there.
Have you seen that one website?
What do you mean by request a death?
My lips curl into a half smile, half snarl.
Since he always cheats, I thought I might upload his photo.
And you think Corpse Girl really exists?
To hear so many people talking about Corpse Girl's website is enough to make my nerves tingle. However, I know they're not talking about it because of Akane Suramaki's death. As far as I can tell, her death wasn't reported to the news as a suspicious case. The only source of information I could locate was her obituary. And that didn't mention anything about foul play, so there's no way anyone could know that Corpse Girl was involved. People are talking about the website in the same way they always have. Like, it's just an interesting topic of conversation, an icebreaker, one of those things you tell your friends to entertain them. And therein is my issue with the website as a topic of conversation. It's just an urban legend, a point of discussion that inevitably fizzles out and is forgotten. People talk about it, people visit the website out of curiosity, but very few people take action and request a death. That's the part that annoys me. If people don't actively participate, how can I prove myself to the world? How can Corpse Girl claim her victims if there are no victims to be claimed? As long as the website is simply a talking point, a myth, an icebreaker, then Corpse Girl's ambitions will remain unfulfilled. To be fair, I haven't yet provided a compelling reason for people to take the website seriously. The death toll is humiliatingly low. I need to ramp it up and step up my game, for Corpse Girl's sake. Until I manage to do that, people will continue to simply discuss the website in hushed tones, like it's some taboo fantasy that shouldn't be spoken of. But with some more time and some more victims, soon everyone will know to fear Corpse Girl. Thanks to the constant drone in the convenience store, I barely register the quiet melody of a ringtone. Eventually my ears become keen enough to pick it out and I answer my phone.
Hey. Good morning, Noriko. Is this a bad time?
Not at all. I'm at the convenience store.
Oh, good. I wanted to catch you before work.
No worries. I actually meant to call you yesterday, but the day got away from me.
That's okay. I wanted to ask if you spoke to Shinya yet?
I sure did. Guess what?
What?
You start work on Monday! You'll be doing data entry with me. We might even get to sit near each other.
Oh my gosh. Really? Are you telling the truth?
This would be a very cruel lie, Aoi.
Of course. When have I ever lied to you?
Oh, Noriko. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does this mean I can quit the maid cafe now?
Yep. Quit today if you can.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you.
Aoi, are you crying?
I'm so happy.
Making Aoi so overwhelmingly happy feels really good. I care so much for this girl. Her happiness is vital to me.
I owe you so much. And Shinya too. I know. I'll buy him a gift to give him on my first day. Do you think he'll like that?
Yeah, he likes crime novels.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. That's a great idea, Aoi.
Give her a hint, Noriko.
What does he like?
I managed to spill the answer to that without having to think twice.
Crime novels.
Oh, really? Oh, his dad is a detective, right? Okay, I can get something like that. Right now, I'm going to march into the cafe and quit.
You tell him. Good luck, kid.
Okay, bye, Noriko.
The call ends and I smile. Aoi sounded so happy. I'm really glad that I could help her out. She deserves to be happy. I barely have time to select a can of coffee from the line of refrigerated shelves before my phone rings again.
Huh? Aoi?
Sorry to call again, Noriko. I just, something was bugging me, so...
What's up?
Did I, this is going to sound stupid. Did I thank you for getting me the job?
Oh, yeah, you did. A few times, I think.
Okay, phew. I just wanted to check. It was bothering me, and I didn't want to come off as ungrateful, so... you know what? Just to make sure. Thank you, Noriko. Okay, I'm going now, really. Bye-bye. Bye, Aoi.
The call ends and my brow furrows. That was strange, but maybe not so strange for Aoi. I guess she really wanted to be polite. She seemed honestly really, high-strung at the moment. Maybe we should get her a gift, something to relax. Maybe, some bath salts or something like that. Some, not a perfume. Like, something that spreads the aroma around. I forgot what they're called, like the little incense sticks. I shrug it off and return back to selecting my coffee for the day. The office atmosphere is unusually somber when I exit the elevator. There are a few people around than normal. Some executives that I rarely see on the level are hovering around in one of the glass-screened cubicles on one side of the floor. I spy Shinya standing at his desk, talking quietly on the phone. He's nodding and bowing a lot, despite the fact that whoever is on the other end of the call can't see him. I want to ask somebody what's going on, but nobody seems to notice me arriving. I shuffle my way to my desk and sit down. I spend some time looking over a spreadsheet of today's tasks. After going through it thoroughly, Shinya arrives at the front of my desk, seemingly out of breath.
Noriko, has anyone filled you in yet?
No, what's going on? Why is half the office empty?
Have they made redundancies?
Well, you see, somebody within the company died yesterday.
Oh.
Oh? Somebody we know?
Shinya shakes his head slowly, his expression gravely serious.
Nobody you would have interacted with. She was an exec, up on the 21st floor. Apparently, she never showed up yesterday, but her coworkers just assumed she was taking a personal day. People started getting the news in the afternoon. She was involved in some sort of accident, and now she's...
Dead?
Shinya glares at me, his narrow pupils seemingly accusing me of being tactless.
Yes. Dead.
So, I get it's a tragedy and all, but how does this explain where everyone is today?
You should have received an email sent out by HR this morning. Basically, everyone is being offered professional grief counseling.
Seriously?
I think some people are taking up the offer, but I suspect some other employees are using the opportunity to skip out on work. Regardless, what happened to Miss Tsurumaki was a tragedy. So unexpected.
I blink a few times, getting ready to turn back to my computer. Miss Tsurumaki?
Wait, what was her name?
Huh? Ms. Tsurumaki. It should be in the email. She had a young daughter and everything. It's really sad.
Arcane Tsurumaki. Though I've never met her before, her face appears in my mind with startling clarity. Self-asphyxiation. An accident. She worked here? I can scarcely believe it. It's true that this is a massive company with thousands of employees Japan-wide, but still. For her to work in the very same building as me. It's too coincidental. It doesn't feel right. Would I have gone through with killing her if I knew she worked in my building? This scenario creates more questions than answers. The person that requested her death, do they also work here? It would have to be somebody who knows her well enough to want her dead. Odds are high that they work here as well.
You okay?
I realise that I've been spacing out, and I turn back to Shinya.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking is all.
Well, grief affects us all in different ways. I think. The details for the counseling sessions are in the email. Be sure to take up the company's offer if you think it'll help. As for me, I think I'll be okay. Some quiet reflection on the matter should help clear my head.
Sure, okay.
Plus, I have a date with Tomoe to look forward to. It's important to look ahead in times like these, isn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
Ugh, yeah, that's what they say.
Very well then. Do your best today, okay?
Right.
Shinya takes his leave and I let my shoulders slump. I killed someone from my office building, but I didn't know that at the time. Could my involvement be traced? No. I was careful to cover up my tracks. I deleted the photos from my computer, discarded the burner phone SIM card, and trashed the phone itself. There's no way anyone will find out I was involved. Besides, I don't even know if authorities are treating the case as a murder. As far as general information goes, it would seem like it truly is being treated as an accident. I'm in the clear. I know I am. However, I sure would like to uncover the identity of the person who requested Tsurumaki's death. The thought that it could be someone I work with makes me way too curious. Despite work being eventful this morning, the rest of the day passed quietly. Though Tomoe kept a distance from me, I wonder if I scared her off when I casually mentioned reporting her to the police. Not that I actually would report her. That would lead to the police getting mixed up in my life, and I can't really have that, considering my moonlighting occupation. Especially now that I know I have a connection to Tsurumaki. I brush my hair in front of the mirror in my bedroom. I remove my makeup and reveal the ever so faint bruise on my cheek, the fading token of my fight with Tomoe. Since tonight is rather cold, I decide to snuggle up under the covers in my bed with a laptop. I crawl into bed and pull the plush blankets over myself. The warmth and softness is immediately comforting, and I have to fight the urge not to fall asleep here and now. To keep myself awake, I check the requests on my website. I'm pleasantly surprised to find there are 2 new requests. 2 in one day? My heart begins to race, and I quickly open the messages. The first message reads, request details. Today, 11:14 AM local time. Victim's phone, blah blah blah. Image attachment not found. No image attachment? What? I thought I configured the website to reject requests unless the image is attached. This is really irritating. I got my hopes up for nothing. It takes me a second to remember that there's another request waiting. My optimism renewed, I hurriedly click on the unread message. Today at 5:06 PM local time. The phone is blah blah blah, downloading image attachment. Yes, this request has been submitted correctly. The image is loading before my eyes. The new victim is a male, early 20s. He's fit and athletic looking. His clothing is casual, so it's impossible to infer what kind of work he does. Would he happen to be a security guard at a private security place? The photo of him is pretty simple. I don't know if he uses it for his noise profile, or if it's an ID photo of some sort. Either way, he looks like a happy person. I'm not so naive to pretend I can't guess the reasons this guy is wanted dead. Perhaps an ex has submitted his details after a bad breakup, or a jealous sibling wants him out of the picture. People's motivations are purely selfish. Requesting the death of somebody is guaranteed to be motivated by self-interest. So why did somebody want Tsurumaki dead? She was so plain looking, so uninteresting. She didn't look like she was capable of even thinking about wronging someone. Did somebody want revenge on her? Or did someone simply find her so dull that the thought of removing her from the planet seemed appealing? I interrupt my own thoughts and return to the task at hand. Dwelling on a past victim won't do me any good if I want to continue my streak of success. This new guy is attractive. It's almost a shame to have to chop him up. Well, we all get what's coming to us, no sense in trying to avoid scaring a pretty face. Beauty is superficial anyway. I know that as well as anyone. No one deserves to be spared just because they're good looking. Beautiful people should suffer as much as anyone else. Beautiful people do suffer as much as anyone else. Take Aoi, for example. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and definitely my type, but she suffers endlessly at the hands of cruel stalkers and patrons. Everyone suffers, beautiful or not. We all cop the crap we're dealt. So why fuss over a beautiful corpse? This guy, or Aoi, or even Tomoe on a good day. Beautiful people die the same way as the average person. The guy on my computer screen probably doesn't really deserve to die. I'm sure there's some petty reason his death has been requested. But I take all requests seriously. I won't turn a single one down. Corpse Girl's convictions will pave the way to her fame. With a smirk and a lick of my lips, I get to work. I've got a nice, clear photo here, so I can go all out on the request. I hit up the DD, the database of the deceased, and spend some time selecting a suitable base image. I hesitate between choosing an image of a corpse with a knife in its throat, or a body soaked in bloody bathtub with its wrist slit. Either image would do just fine, but I really want something special for this latest victim. After all, I have to top my last success, right? Another 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp at coming across the perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on the DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic build, male. The corpse's legs are severed below the knees. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from on high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines on some suburban street. It's perfect. Beautiful even. It will help me create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. I kind of have to question the story behind this photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to this sucker. Well, regardless, this will serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy available and save it to my hard drive. My fingers trace along the computer's trackpad with practiced movements, clicking, tapping, dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. May 29th, Friday morning. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even manage to take a seat for the first time in a while. I withdraw a worn book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrawled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it's become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember where I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a second-hand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one of them. Its aged cover and weathered spine both bear the same title. Faust Photographie, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. This book is written in English, and it's a slog to work through with my limited knowledge of that language. But I like to skip through it, primarily for photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctrine from centuries ago fascinates me. The book even features techniques and studies as recent as 1993, when it was first published. It's true that a lot of techniques discussed within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there's a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section's content is that the featured artists perform the opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating the image of the living to make them appear dead, the artists in the book edit images of the dead in order to make them look alive once more. In bygone eras when photographs of people were taken few and far between, a sect of artists dedicated themselves to honouring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photos taken upon the death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to the family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Images if you lost someone dear to you, and you had no photographs of them. Wouldn't it be wonderful to receive one last memento? A beautiful image of the way you remember them. Instead of using makeup to beautify a corpse, these artists applied paintbrush and pen directly to a photograph to seemingly bring the deceased back to life. The impressive aspect of this process is the way that they illustrated the corpse's eyes to look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from the work I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artists discussed in this book. Surely we are cut from the same cloth. Browsing through the images in this book inspires me to work hard at my own photo editing. Many of the pictures in black and white, but to me, that only drives home how impressive these old techniques were. I finished flipping through a chapter and closed the book. I hold the tattered tome close to my chest and breathe a sigh of satisfaction.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. When I'm certain nobody is looking, I carefully open the lid of a large dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food and who knows what else assaults my senses, and I reflexively gag and splutter. The staff at the convenience store really need to seal their trash in plastic bags before tossing it in here.
Ugh, this is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
The raised open lid locks in place at a 45-degree angle, allowing my now free hands to receive a small black object from my handbag. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing with a shiny charcoal finish. I open it up and tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I've completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Nodding to myself, I'm satisfied that I've covered my tracks. I eject the battery from the back of the casing and toss it into the dumpster. Then I snap the phone in half along the hinge, separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. I clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I sidle between the brick wall of the convenience store and a narrow metal railing intended to keep people like me away from the dumpsters. Now, in front of the convenience store, I finally feel I can breathe deeply, without fear of inhaling the toxic contents of the dumpster. I let my lungs take their fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I cracked the SIM card in half and disposed of it in the combustible trash. Now, with the phone itself destroyed and discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It's been slightly less than 24 hours since I messaged my last victim. The athletic guy that I briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I want to discard the phone early, clear my anxiety, and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone ever replies to the messages I send. I'd love it if they did, but it is what it is. So really, there's no point holding on to the evidence of my wrongdoing for any longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote tomorrow's date on the latest victim's timestamp, May 30th, 10:31 AM. The victim may decide to kill himself today. Of course, he could end up just like Akane Tsurumaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll hold out until just a few hours before the designated time. He'll let panic and fear boil and build inside of him, until he just can't take it anymore. Or someone else will come along and end it all for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Rory Hatano. Did she kill herself? Or did someone else snuff out her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident this will be another successful request. If it is, I'll truly be on a winning streak. With butterflies in my stomach, I cross the road. On my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to my apartment, provided the weather's decent. I avoid the park in the mornings as a lot of people walk their dogs, and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I finish work a bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air and scenery. I make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches line the path at regular intervals, and at this time of the evening, it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. This city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. I try not to think much of it as I walk by every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do, but there's not exactly anything I can do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money that I can't afford to spare? Would I just end up homeless as well? I'm not exactly broke, but I live month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara, and commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in the electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to, but I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. By the way, the phone bill, of course, is just a burner phone bill. And don't even get me started on the cost of coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can for 100 yen, but more often than not, I'm paying up to 150 for a single can. Even if I were to buy canned coffee in bulk from one of those huge variety stores like Don Quixote, I still only save a handful of loose change. And I wouldn't have access to the familiar selection I get at the convenience store. I'm just thankful that I don't go out for drinks after work, like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beer every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, Not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. Realizing I'm trudging along the path at a snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Toward the exit of the park, the silhouettes of two people on the bench come into view. The sound of laughter carries on in the wind, and I can't help but feel like I've heard the voices before. As I draw closer, a sinking sensation clutches at my stomach. I immediately get the urge to turn around, but I'm so close to home.
Aha! It's Noriko! Fancy seeing her here.
Noriko's here.
Tomoe and Shinya. Tomoe glares and flips a long hair behind her ear with a shit-eating grin on her face. Shinya looks kind of out of place outside the office. His face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall that Tomoe did mention they were going on a date on Friday night. I suppose it's just my bad luck that I would run into them on my way home. But what are they doing here in Akihabara? I have to assume that Tomoe came here on purpose just to spite me.
On your way home?
Uh-huh. How's your, date?
We're having a blast. Right, Chen?
Yes, of course. A great time.
Don't look convinced, Shinya. I wonder if Tomoe has been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Hey, we're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us?
No thanks.
I can't think of any worse way to spend an evening than eating with Tomoe.
Please come with us, Noriko.
Shinya has a dejected look on his face. It's pitiful, but he brought this date upon himself. Why should I have to bail him out?
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
I honestly don't know what to say to that.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
It's not completely a lie. Sometimes I eat at home, sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
She's starting to get on my nerves. I swear, she tries to identify my flaws and insecurities just so she can rub them in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being very nice to Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
Right.
Huh. Fascinating.
Sorry, just one moment. Apologies.
Anyway, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay. See you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
I let Tomoe's words hang in the air as I walk past her. I'm pretty annoyed that she dragged Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? Does she care about Shinya at all? Or is this whole thing just to annoy me? Tomoe dating Shinya doesn't even get under my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomoe is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I could carry on my way home without one final interruption. Tomoe calls out to me again.
Your friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? Oh, fun. I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko's.
I wouldn't go there, Tomoe. I grimace. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turn back to face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend. If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
I got plenty of friends. And only some of them are sluts like you.
Yeah. I'm going.
I finally managed to disengage from the conversation, even with Tomoe's mocking laugh piercing the air. I proceed to light her on the wrist 3 more times. I exit the park, cross the road and walk down the block leading to my apartment. Tomoe, I have to wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. I have to tell myself she's not worth my time, but I can't let her taunt get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile and approach my apartment building. Okay, I think I'll end this episode here. If you've enjoyed it, why not leave a like and subscribe? Everything helps me out. We're still, moving along. We've got a confirmed kill. It's a confirmed kill in our office. We seem to, be covering our tracks very well. I can't ever think we've just killed Kenji, though. Anyway, we'll see how this plans out in the next part. If you've enjoyed it, why not leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.